Okay, viewers of Global Teachers, as you all know, this channel is all about education, promotion, and investment. Here we are today in the northern region, and we have our brother who has established education to provide quality education to the people of northern region. He's from Upper East, but today we will get to know who he is and why he has established his education here to help the people of the north. So let me get near to him and we can all hear. Okay, sir, can you tell us who you are? Today I'm going to ask you questions concerning yourself, your investment, your school, and where you want to see yourself in the future. So over to you.
Thank you so much for this honor given to us this afternoon. We are very grateful. My name is ANSBERT AMORO. I actually originally come from Bolgatanga, Upper East region, and now settled in Tamale in the northern region. And I work here in Tamale. And when I first came here, far back in 1992-93, I realized that yes, the education at this particular level, especially in the country here, the northern part of the country here, people needed to go to school. And that was a time there were so many issues of people going to school, not passing O levels or not passing the other courses, and they have nowhere to go. Yeah. There was something we call a breaching course. And I realized that the breaching course was actually something that can help people to move from where they have not been able to get a transition to the next level. Right. So I actually had a dream of what to do. Okay. And that one was actually, it came in a vision form. Okay. And that is where the name GiFAM actually metamorphoses from. Okay. The GiFAM actually stands for God Instructs Forwardness Among Men, simply implying that people are wealthy, they have a lot of resources, but nobody or some of them are not even thinking of investing such resources into education. Right. And when I got this revelation, I realized that yes, okay, since I do not even have enough, but whatever little I have, if I put it into education, it will help not just me alone as a person, right, but the masses who are growing up in the community and around the northern part of the country. And the test for education. And what happened is that it will actually show that when you have education, it is not just for one person, but it's for what? The masses. The masses. And that is what even benefited from me a lot, and that is what actually brought me from Bolgatanga to Tamale here. Great. Otherwise, I would have been wondering, what will I be doing in Tamale here? Right. So, in that case, when I was in the Tamale Technical University, but then it was Tamale Polytechnic. Okay. I used my student loan, and then I set up the secretarial school. And since I had that vision to set up the place, I just named it GiFAM Secretarial School. Okay. And the first student that came was just only one. Okay. And then in a matter of weeks, so many people came in, and the class was just going on. Okay. I was the main teacher, teaching almost all the subjects, and fortunately, my classmates also developed interest, and they decided to join me up and supported me in the various subjects. Good. And the first batch of students actually scored high. Good. That gave us a lot of motivation. To move forward. Students actually came from the senior high schools at that time when there were so many people who did not make it to go to the next level. Fantastic. So many of them failed. So my place was more or less like a reconciliation center or a breaching program for those people who wanted to make education to recycle their level of life. Good. So it went on for so many years, and there was a need for me to also go for further education. Okay. I left the management and other things in the hands of those my colleagues and other people who manage the place. Okay. They were there until I came back, and so many policies changed, and we realized that okay, fine, doing only the secretariat might not have a way forward much into the future. Right. So we decided to inculcate into the senior high school level. That one also didn't see light up to some point because government policies changed up to a certain point where most people were not needed to pay school fees to be able to go to senior high schools.
Right.
And that left us in a doom, because without the school fees, it was very difficult for us to survive.
Okay.
Well, having thought over this thing, I set up the basic school. It ran for 2 years. The third year, some of the parents, because they saw it as a charitable organization, most of the parents were not paying anything.
Okay.
So when we introduced some small amount of fee paying, they realized that no, they don't want their children to go to school. So we decided to close that one.
Okay.
But when the policies of the senior high school became like free education, our point here, we're not getting the students again.
Okay.
So we decided to now concentrate on what? Getting the smaller ones to go to school.
Catch them young.
So we said, okay, that's fine. So let's now reinvent the wheel.
Okay.
From the SS, go back to the mainstream child education, the children.
Okay.
So we started, and the response was massive.
Good.
Because the community in the first place already accepted us from the time we came into the community here, and they saw what we have done to the young ones. And for that matter, when these people also started coming in, so many people bought into the idea, and they started bringing their words. So this is our third year in running the basic school. And the response is not too bad, because if you look at the number, the first groups of students, that the people that we had, they are always less than the subsequent groups that we had. For instance, those in class 1, basic 1, are less than those people who are in nursery 2, and those people who are in nursery 3, and those people in the KG, and so on. So the number is always increasing. It's just that we need more space for them. And the space here is what? The classrooms.
The classrooms.
And we have also been lucky. We're able to get into partnership with the Hungary Helps. And they are the people who supported us to put up these 2 blocks of classrooms of 6 rooms. And they actually been very, very helpful to us. We are still in partnership with them, and we are hoping they will be of more support to us. Currently, our challenge is to be able to put up a toilet facility for the kids, as well as to drill a borehole to provide water. And the big asset what we have within our premises here is we have a very big mango tree that provides shade for a lot of the people. During break, they can go there and rest, and during break time, the teachers can also go there and just relax for a bit. Despite the fact that we don't have a big staff common room for the teachers, there is place for them to rest. Now, going forward, we're looking at it this way. We are not just thinking of ending it this way. We are thinking of trying to see how best we can wall the land, because the land is 1.17 hectares of land space. It's really very big.
Wide enough for expansion.
We think that we can expand very wide, and we need to be able to restrict the movement of intruders in and out of the place. So we're also thinking of, if we're able to get resources settled, then we put up the wall. In the course of putting up the wall, we're also thinking of what? Putting up a place where the children can have a conducive place where they can go there for break, for lunch. They can go there for whatever break time that somebody wants to eat. And then also thinking of setting up a bakery where at least we can always have some small pieces of pastries for the kids, because it's not all of them that have breakfast before coming to the school, and not everybody has money to be able to take care of themselves during break. So in the course of that, we also run that one as part of though we're still asking them for a small amount of money to be more or less based on charity, in terms of providing them the meal. Aside that, we are also thinking of getting partners across the country, in Ghana and outside the country. Provided we're able to get good responses, we would like people who want to volunteer in our school here. We welcome them. We can try to see how best we can provide space for them to come, and at least they can volunteer for 3 months, 2 months, whatever period they think is convenient for them, so that at least our young people will be motivated to see that yes, there are people that will link up elsewhere, not necessarily within the local environment,
a support system.
For other places where they can come, and then they can also grow and visit them as well.
Good.
That is one of the things that we're looking at.
Okay.
Apart from that, in terms of the teachers as well as the community, we are well accepted in the community in which we operate.
Okay.
That is the Sanergo community.
Okay.
Most of the people who come here, they speak well about us.
Okay.
And our center here is more or less used as what? A location. It is used as a landmark to identify the Sanergo community.
Yeah.
We are sharing would I say close proximity with the Bagabaga College of Education.
Okay.
That is for the teachers, and also the Tamale Technical University. So when you are in any of these big institutions, one can easily point finger at where we are.
Right.
So we can easily be identified.
Okay.
What we are doing with our teachers is that anybody who comes here as a teacher will have a culture. And our culture is that we have to what? We have to change the people's lives, those people who come into us, by taking an action.
And that's the essence of education, changing life, good life, not bad life.
We are changing the lives of the people by taking what action.
Okay.
And this action is not just in action, it's a positive action. So when you come, we'll try as much as we inculcate the good morals that anybody who wants to live in a peaceful society will be interested in catching up.
Right.
So we'll try as much as possible to work in a team.
Okay.
We'll try as much as possible to work as what? One. So that anybody will be seeing the other person through the lens of what? A clear glass.
Yeah.
We don't have anything to hide away from our fellow staff.
Yeah.
We don't have anything at all to say, okay, we are operating in the dark.
Yeah.
Everybody is what? Trying as much as possible to be transparent.
Okay.
And that is what happens in terms of our staff.
Okay.
And when you look at it, the people that come into the school here, looking at it in gender segregation, we have more females. Peoples
Than the male. Okay.
And that is something very interesting.
Okay.
When you look at the history of this place, you realize that a lot of females were not going to school simply because they want to grow, marry, and then they keep on producing what families.
Cultural restriction. Would you say that?
Yeah, cultural restrictions. But what happens is that in our terrain now, we are admitting a lot of females. Not we are admitting, they are bringing in more females into our
more
school
females are coming than males.
Apart from that, when you look at our staff numbers, there are more females
teachers
who are teachers than they are in terms
I saw that myself
males.
yesterday,
so
you don't have to tell me again.
So in that case, you realize that we are, in a way, satisfying
gender imbalance. Would you say that?
Gender imbalance. We're satisfying some of the millennium goals, where everybody have access to education and having what? A good quality education. And living what? A life of what? Peace.
Okay. I have some other questions to ask you.
Yes,
okay. So thank you, Mr. ANSBERT AMORO. Next question is, in our days where we were languishing in poverty while struggling to go to school, did you ever envision that you would be somebody today?
Not at all. What happened was that the motivation behind me going to school was to be able to read and write. And then to be able to make friends across the environment in which I come from or beyond. That was the main key thing. I didn't even think that yes, after school you'll be able to get a job to do what? Because farming was something that we were using to be able to make what? The money to pay our school fees and then to be able to feed on. So the issue of going for big amounts of money was not the main thing. So that was the main motivation why we went to school.
Good.
So it was not something. So this one has come as what? A bonus.
A bonus. A surprise.
Yes.
And then that's God's making, right?
That's right.
Next question. Let me take you back to our almighty Akanju's days.
Yes.
You were always topping your class, and while I was also topping in my class. But if you had compared my results in your class, I would have been placing somewhere 5th position. So I thought that I needed more challenge in my class. Did you ever feel the same way in your class since you were always topping them?
In my class, what I was looking at was any subject at all that was presented to us for exams, I would always like to get 100%.
Okay.
The 100%
More determined. Determination was moving you.
Was what I was looking at.
Okay.
I wasn't looking at who was competing with me. That wasn't the problem. My problem is how can I score that exam.
Yes.
And that is what happened when I was coming from my St. Francis Primary School, Zara Experimental Primary School to Akantobe Junior Secondary School. The mathematics paper that I wrote, it was even a suspicion that somebody wrote a paper.
For
so
you.
I was called to come and defend that mark.
Oh.
And I went with one of my teachers, my class 6 teacher. That is Moses Amisco.
Okay.
He escorted me to Akantomi Junior Secondary School to defend the mathematics paper.
Okay.
Just to let people know that, yes, I was actually looking for 100%. I wasn't looking for who was at where and who was competing with me.
So your source of motivation, would you say, was internal, more internal than external, based on what you just said?
Yes.
Okay.
It was more internal because, one, I wanted to just get where others are
Right.
or beyond.
Right.
But I was not competing with anybody. It was just internally getting
It was
to
a
the level.
self-fight.
Yes.
Okay, next question. There are many investment opportunities ranging from investing in shares and bonds, in corporations, trading, farming, etc. Why did you choose to invest in education?
When you look at it, I am seeing it as a multiplier effect.
Okay.
When you look at education, when you educate one, you educate a lot.
Okay.
Because of my education, I realized that if you look at the total number of people that are currently in this school, there are over 248 students
Okay.
in this school.
Wow.
Now,
That's
this
a good
is me
number.
Starting, and this is what I have come up with.
Okay.
Hold the assumption that I had invested this money in shares. It is my money, and that ended it.
Right.
But that is not my aim.
Right.
I'm looking at it. How much terms of wealth do I need?
Yes.
I need to spread it across
Right.
and for others to benefit.
Right.
So investing in education, I feel it is the right course of investment for me because it will be a multiplier effect.
Okay.
And this 248, God being so good, if all these people are able to excel at their various levels, there will be a multiplier effect of 248 times X. We don't
Okay.
know what the X will be for.
Okay.
But it will spread across the entire country.
Nation.
Not
Okay.
just here.
Yeah.
Because when we even started with GiFAM, a lot of the people that I have trained at that time,
Okay.
they are occupying very high positions and they are making a lot of impact, contributing to the society as well as the country.
Good. Okay. Second but last question. Why would you want parents far and near to bring their children to your school? I think you already said something, but would you
What
summarize
happens
that?
What happens is that in terms of security, we care for the children. In terms of helping them to be able to achieve their aim by doing that. Because when you look at one of our missions, we're saying that we are training the people to acquire knowledge, to be successful competitors. It implies that when you are leaving GiFAM, it means that you have all the skills, the knowledge, and then the ability to compete with other people successfully and be the best.
Okay.
So that is one of the biggest challenge that we have challenged ourselves, and all the people who work with us here have also got into it.
Okay.
That is where parents seeing it would like to bring their children here.
Okay.
And apart from that, we have clocked a reputation this far.
Okay. Thank you so much. Last question. How would you advise the youth out there to take their education seriously?
Yes. For the youth, what happens is that they should not be in a haste to look for the wealth. Because one, if you are chasing wealth, which money is part of it, when you are running 100 meters of 10.5 to be 10.50 to chase the money, the money will run at just 10.
Yes.
To run away from you.
Okay.
So it implies that you keep on running at a very top speed, and the money should run at a faster speed. You never catch up. But if you make yourself marketable, skilled, be able to be competent, you will stay at one particular point, and then different sources of money will be coming to you.
Okay.
In that case, you can build a wealth from there rather than chasing the money everywhere you go.
Okay.
And apart from that, you may not even have one direction because sources of money come from different directions.
Right.
Which way will you go?
Yes.
But if you educate yourself well, and then you position yourself well, all other areas will not be coming to you.
It's like sharpening a saw that can cut any tree.
Yes.
Okay,
So
I
that's the way
understand.
we are looking at it.
Okay.
So we prefer that have the education, and then all others will come in.
Okay.
But if you have all others, you still need the education.
Okay.
Because people have the money, and they are still looking for people to help them manage the money.
Okay.
But if you have the money and you are the manager yourself,
Okay.
why not just manage it to the best?
Okay.
So the youth today,
Okay.
if they want to actually stay focused,
Okay.
they should rather concentrate on learning,
Education first.
securing the knowledge, and then having a position,
Okay.
rather than just chasing the money,
Okay.
which they may not be able to get now.
Yes.
That is why you look at it, most of the youth, some of them go wayward because they are running in different directions. They have no way to catch the money.
Right.
So when they are running east, the money is running west.
Yes.
They turn.
Money is
Before
dodging
you
them.
now get to the west, the
Yes.
money has already even run far. So that is where some of them end up by being frustrated. Some of them end up by being drug addicts. Some
Okay.
of the social
Out of
vices.
frustrations,
Social
not being
vices.
able to chase the money.
Yes. But
Okay.
if you train yourself well in terms of education, stay
Okay.
there.
Okay.
Money will look for you.
Okay. So
my
it's like
advice is-
opening a net,
Yes.
crossing a river
Yes.
for fish to come and be stranded,
Yes.
so you can catch freely.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so
in that
much.
case, you can
With
get
this,
good.
thank you. This is the proprietor of GiFAM Educational Complex. You have heard him. Why he established the school in the north and his goal in the future. We thank him so much, and thank you for also listening to this. We'll see you at another time.